everyone. How are you? Welcome for coming. Welcome to today. We have Johnson here, as you can see, idol of mine. He's here to talk about pre-construction with us. He's a very knowledgeable guest speaker, and I'm sure everyone can benefit from his knowledge. And after today, we all will know what's the like how to pick up pre-construction for ourselves and also for our client as well. Johnson is the CEO and a broker of record of Cornerstone Marketing. Prior to that, he's actually the vice president sales of Milborne Real Estate. And Johnson actually has is an MBA graduate from Queen's University. Also has a Bachelor of Commerce from UBC as well. He started his real estate career back in 1993 from Hong Kong. And at one point in 2004, I know you're also part of the Concord 8X group and also participated in one of the mega projects in downtown, the Toronto City Place and the North York Park Place as well. So welcome.
Thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. Can everyone hear me? Okay, perfect. First of all, thank you for taking time out on a wonderful Friday evening. I know this is a huge sacrifice, so I want to make sure it's worth your while. Hopefully, by the end of tonight, you could learn a couple of things to help out in your own production, in your own business. Today, I'll be talking from a broker to broker, salesperson, business person to business person point of view. Okay, I don't know it all. I tried to go through schooling to learn stuff, but I realized that all the stuff they taught me at B school and at UBC is garbage. What I really learned a lot is from real life experience, and more so from a lot of the more seasoned brokers in this industry, such as Joseph here, that I've learned a lot. And the thing for you guys to with you is that if you open your eyes, open your ears, you can learn so much from all those around you. Okay, so you don't have to sit in the course, but it's actual every day you're learning, a sponge. Okay, so just for those who don't know what we do, here's our video. That's a little quick video about what we do. We do project marketing, we do project planning. We take a site and we take it from its very infancy and we bring it to the marketplace to sell through you guys. Some of the things that's unique about Cornerstone and how we do our business is that we cooperate with brokers from the very beginning, first sale to the very last. And then so we want to get into a very reciprocal collaboration where we don't just need you guys to sell right beginning and then chase you guys out and then bring you guys back in, but is continuous collaboration. That's the most important thing. Now, part of the thing that I want to do tonight is share with you some of the things I've observed with a lot of the VIP. You guys heard of the term VIP brokers, right? Well, it's beyond VIP now. It's called platinum. It's beyond platinum, is double platinum. But what I've really learned from them on the front line, those who really perform consistently through all the projects, and I distill in some of the things, and those are some things I want to share with you. Again, I'm not rocket science. I'm just a regular guy, but I want to learn. And that's is because of my insatiable appetite to learn and to be better than yesterday. That's what really keeps me going. Now, the first thing I want to share with you is about paradigm. Paradigm is how you think of something. It's about a set of belief that will affect your action. Now, tonight I'm talking about two levels. First is your own personal paradigm. How you look at your business is already in April. A, th- a quarter, 25% of the year is gone. Now, the question, you guys have the answer, and don't have to say it out loud. Have you hit 25% of your production? Okay? If not, then you better really get your butt off the rocker and really work hard at it. Okay? So paradigm is something that we don't think about. Is that we wish that we could have double our production. We want to get into pre-con. We see all these other guys doing pre-con. They're all saying I'm VIP platinums, and I want a piece of it, but I don't do anything about it. That's wrong. Because again, what is the definition of insanity? Is if you don't change your action, but you expect a change in the outcome. That's insanity. So I'm not crazy. You guys are not crazy. So I will share with you what does that paradigm shift really entails. And that's what it's really about. Because remember I said there are two levels. First is your own personal level. The second level is the paradigm of your clients. You may be working with some clients that will say, I swear by I will not buy a pre-construction. They may have said that when the average pricing was only $600 a square foot. And they got to $700 a square foot, $800 a square foot, $900 a square foot. And you remember last conversation had with them, and they're saying that no, condos is a lie, okay? No one lives in those things. It's all empty. No one wants to live in a little small box. They want big ass type of homes. Well, unfortunately, now it's beyond $1,000. It's 11, 12, 13, $1,400. So the market keeps on going. And then so now, the buyers that you were talking to before, they were saying, I don't think condos is a real thing. They're actually thinking, oh God, I'm priced off the market. And they're saying, I think the market is going to drop because the market have gone up so high. And now your challenge is shifting the paradigm and say at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, $1,800 a square foot, it's still the time to buy. Hey, honestly, you may even think it. You may personally think that the market is going to go back to $300 a square foot. You're going to hold your breath, and I'm going to wait until $300 a square foot. $300 a square foot, that's when I started City Place. My first condo there was $313 a square foot. Okay? And if I am reminiscent of those days and say, I will not buy another condo until it gets to $300 a square foot, guess what? I'm not going to buy anything. Okay? Because my mentality have priced out myself. Okay? So the paradigm shift is so important, and I want you guys to be cognizant of that. Because again, if you're working with yourself and say, I want to double my production, now increase by 25, 30, 40, 50, whatever your business plan is. And raise of hands, who have a business plan for this year? Show of hands. Okay, for those who don't show, raise your hands. You guys better sit down with Joseph and get a plan. Because the amazing thing is, in about 6, 7, 8 months, it's going to be Christmas. It's going to be New Year's. And this year have gone. Whether you have a plan or not, time will go by. That's the amazing thing is, you could just wallow through and don't really think about it, but then every day goes by and you're losing time. Okay? So now, this is the cycles of our lives. Okay? In our life, we have the ups and downs. Okay? A lot of people, especially those who post on Instagrams, they only talk about the ups. How beautiful it is. I'm driving a nice car, going on vacations. For me, the ups doesn't really excite me. What I really care about is the low points in my whole life, but it's the low point of the day because we are emotional beings. And the fact that we're in this room, we're doing sales, is that in terms of personality, we're more emotional. Because it's the emotion inside us that makes us really good salespeople. Seriously. And every time we make a purchase decision, always emotions driven. It is the satisfaction of a need, and it's that need to say, I want to satisfy something. I want that charge. I want that endorphin. And that's why we make a purchase decision. And some of you guys go to LV over and over again because you love endorphin, okay? But the reality is that what I really want to share with you is that not the high points, because everyone have the high points, is I want to empower you guys to what do you do when you hit the lows. Because, think about it, if you have the ability to pick yourself up after the lows, what have you done? You become invincible. So you know that whenever you start slipping down, you know exactly what to do. That's powerful. You know there'll be good days, and you know there'll be bad days. But if you walk and wake up each day knowing that if a bad day hits you, or something bad hits you, you know exactly what to do to switch it back. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, according to the American Brain Association, there is an association, brain, is that we all have various things that affects our own behavior. We got emotions, behavior, sensations, thoughts, and triggers. When I read an article, what really stood to me was the trigger. Because what I really want to find in my life is that things that will help me jolt and wake me up so that it would steer me from a negative mood into positive mood. I don't know if you guys do any of the self-help audiobooks or self-help tapes or motivational speeches, stuff like that. Those are things I draw on. Okay? I have a set of like playlists that I go to. I remember very early on, I spent about a year and a half in Calgary doing shit in Calgary. I was recruited after Concord, recruited into Calgary, and then that was in 2008. Okay, so I have my home here, flew to Calgary, my family, and then I bought a home, and then the financial crisis came. Remember 2008 financial Lehman, and then my company went bankrupt. All the bonuses, all the everything that they promised me, gone. I was out of a job. I had a mortgage, and I have a mortgage here in Toronto, and I have a mortgage there in Calgary, and I was at the end. I didn't know what to do. What could I do? Real estate. Challenged my exam and went door to door. I started from very, very rudimentary. So if anyone talks about how to claw your way back into life, I know it. I've done it. I've done it time and time again. And so I definitely understand that what it means to trigger. And the point is that my manager at that time was like, Johnson, before you go into a listing presentation, sit in your car, get there early. Don't ever just in time. Get there early, crank up the radio, get your favorite tune, whatever it is. That is your call. That's your rally cry. That is your song. Crank it up, listen to it. Don't listen to the end. Midway through, shut it down, walk in there, and do your best damn listening presentation ever. Even to this day, I still have my own ritual for me to pick up, because everybody can have ups and downs, okay? And for anyone who thinks that you don't have any downs, you guys are not human, okay? So that's important. Whatever it is, you have to find your trigger. Why is that? For me, when I was going through all those books and everything, I actually distilled into 3 levels. The first level, what I call, is just a quick recharge. Okay, so maybe working out at the gym, going for a walk, going for a run, it may be Zumba or whatever it is. Okay, something quick and get it. It may be just one song. Okay, it's just a recharge. You have to get that quick recharge, whatever it is. Do not go into drugs, do not go into alcohol, because that doesn't really solve anything. Okay, now the next is that when you really slip and you need to restore the balance. You know, we all go through life and say, no, I've been working too hard. I need to balance the yin and the yang and everything. It's all psychological, but then we are psychological beings. We are emotional beings. So recognize that and say, hey, I need to find a mechanism for me to restore. So that may be a little short trip. It may be 3, 4, 5 days. It may be 3 or 5 weeks, or however you define it. Again, I'm not here to judge, but I'm here to prompt you to find whatever works in your personal life. And the last one is repair. This is major damage. Major damage. Somehow, you have slipped through the recharge, and you neglected to restore the balance, and you are in total disrepair. Now you really take a couple of days, okay? There may be a book that you've read over and over again that really inspires me. One book on my shelf, two books that really inspires me. And I've read it over and over again. Those are things that you need to, people call it clutch. I call it, no, that's my survival. That's what I go to. That's my go-to. Because this is how I face every battle. And every day is a battle. Okay? So those are things that you need to identify. And if you have all these three tools in your toolbox, just imagine how powerful it is. Not to say that you'll be walking around cocky, but you'll be walking around really empowered and saying that, hey, if I ever slip, I know exactly how to pick myself up. Self-help. I can help myself. I don't need to rely on anybody else. I don't need to rely on my significant other, because your spouse may fail you. Your kids may fail you. Your boss may fail you. Everybody else will fail you, but you cannot fail yourself. That's what the message is. Now, for some of you, you guys may know this already, but it was a shocker to me. Now, how many of you guys do resale? Show of hands. How many of you guys do pre-con? Show of hands. Okay. There is one major difference between resale and pre-con. And it's right there. It's the difference between need and a lead. Think about your resale work. All your resale work is you do marketing, you do all various types of advertising, and leads comes in, but what's the common thread with all those leads? They have a need already. They have a need already. I mean, no one will actually invite you to do a listing presentation unless they want to sell their homes. Or no one will say, hey, let's do some showings, unless they're looking for a rental or purchase, right? They may talk to you just to fill the time, but most of them, they have better things to do with the time. So always in our resale business, you're so used to working on the lead level. But I want to share with you that in the pre-con world, it is a need and not a lead. That need precedes the lead. Think about it. It's pre-con. It's something, whatever pre-con project there is right now. What's the hottest project right now? Alias? Queen and Church. Okay, QC. Okay, no, actually we use QC already, so they cannot use QC. Okay, we'll come the QC wannabe. Okay, so try that out. Queen and Church, 60. Okay, great location, blah, 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 blah. But then it'll be completing in a couple of years. So there is no real need to live in there right now. Okay, because it's so far in the future. So because of pre-con, we work in a different world. In the pre-con world, it is so future-orientated. Okay? And then so that's why you guys start thinking about, I need to somehow invoke and really draw out in my buyers, in my prospects, that they need to make a need to make some type of investment. And if they say, I really don't need to invest because I use it for myself, because it's so far down the road, your circumstances will change. Your kids' circumstances will change. A lot of things will have changed. I remember 2 years, so many of my friends have sold their four-door sedan and bought an SUV because of COVID babies. Like, it's amazing. Things that they don't really count on happening. And then so you got to understand that. And then there is a huge difference between farming the need versus the lead in pre-construction. Because when you're talking about need farming, you're trying to extract and try to get your audience to think about why would they want to make an investment. Well, first thing is inflation hedge. Especially right now, 6.9%, it's crazy. Yes, they look at that, and what they really need to understand is that if they don't protect their homes, they don't protect their families by making risk type of investments, what I call it is risk balancing, hedging, arbitrage. Okay? You need to get those investments. Lock into GIC from 2 months ago doesn't do anything. You need things that will ride with inflation. Okay? And sometimes Bitcoin just doesn't do it. And so you guys start talking to them. Because the flip side of inflation is erosion of purchasing power. And so those are really horrible topics. No one wants to talk about it. But for me, that's the best topic. Because that really brings out the urgency that they really need to look at what they have in their portfolio. And a lot of your clients maybe they never reviewed their portfolio. Seriously. You know, they with mutual funds every year, RSP, they always say with the bankers, say, let's look at my portfolio. Unless they're really investment savvy. Okay? I did my MBA in finance, by the way. I hated finance. But I love real estate because it's a very simplified way of finance. There's no really intense modeling, derivatives. There's nothing really weird going on, weird math. This is very simple. I buy something, I hold it, and I hold it, and I sell one day. That's it. It's a very simple formula. And there's no manager fees in there. You know, it's me. I'm the manager. I pay my own self. So it's very simple and it's easily understood by many people. Now, there's another need right now, especially if you've been in the industry and your clients are more of the experienced group and they have their younger generation, is succession. Generational wealth. If you don't know all these topics, that's okay. There are wealth advisors that you could partner up with and you start having these clients. Because it is a very, very complex topic. But if you truly look at your work as not transactional, but rather it's really to impart value to your clients, and to their kids, you really need to talk to them. You're doing a service for them. You're trying to help them to understand. Because either they know it and they confront these topics intelligently, or they don't know it and just stumble through life. Again, everybody will get through life. Everybody. But it's how purposeful you are. That's what I want you guys to be. I want your clients to really gain something because they know you, because they've come to know you, they've heard, they were inspired, they were challenged, and sometimes it's not only the good topics, sometimes it's difficult topics. And don't be afraid to dance around. And I don't want to talk about those things. Okay? Another thing is affordability. Everybody knows that affordability is an issue. And the flip side of it is that they somehow magically think that the times will roll back to the $300 a square foot condos days. You got to wake them up and say, no, it's not going to happen. And why isn't it going to happen? Is that people only look forward. Who wants to work for half the wages that they were at before? None of the contractors would want to do that. And the only way they would do that is that we have to go into a deep, deep recession. Like, I'm talking about deep. Massive layoffs. And they're hurting. So much pain. And only then, everybody is a total reset. I don't think those days are coming because we're just not in that type of economic situation. And I don't see workers, framers, going to say, instead of making $90 an hour, boss, I'm gonna be happy with $30. I'm okay. I don't need that much money. No one does that. So as a result, that cost pressure will always keep going. And it's going to keep going that because that's human nature. And so those are things that you need to have discussions. And pooling of resource. Now, this doesn't really happen all that much now, but I remember when we first immigrated here with my dad, and I was a kid at that time, and what was really popular at that time was new immigrants from Hong Kong. It's not the wealthy people. We were just working class. And my dad was a janitor, my mom was a waitress, and what did our our relatives do is we pull the money together to buy our first home. That's how it was. And after that, we sell that home to split the difference, and then we all go buy our own homes. That's how it was. It was hard. It was hard. But then that's how it was. Now we're facing different market conditions. Times are good. Times are so good that pricing of homes is going to be beyond the reach of a lot of people. That's why pooling of resource is not a bad solution. It is a possible. So you have to open up your buyers to all these discussions. Okay? Now, another thing is that for pre-construction, because it's intangible, you're buying a piece of paper, it's really hard to sell intangibles. You gotta be really good communicators to be able to sell pre-construction. Because now you are playing a game where you have to get your buyer's mindset, you have to get your mindset first into the future and say, what's that community going to look like? What's the future going to look like? What are all these dynamics? And then have your clients get into the mindset and say, yeah, I think the future is going to be good. So as a result, as an investment, I think this will outperform if I were to buy anywhere else. And I agree with the way you look at it. I agree with your analysis. And those are things that I also near and dear to my heart. We're on the same wavelength. We're in sync. We're jiving. And you're giving me good service. Again, what I've talked about now is not, it's not just saying Queen and church is coming. I have VIP access. No. I have platinum access. Come call me. Or, you seen those emails where ABC project just launched. Top 5 reasons why you should buy. Click here for plans and pricing. Click here for worksheet. Here is click here for brochures. Click here for amenities and stuff. And then top 5 reasons to buy. Call me. No, don't call me. Just send me your worksheet. That's a VIP platinum, double platinum broker. Okay. What I'm sharing with you is that from the front line, the guys that really do well, I see them connect with their clients. I see that connection there. And for life of me, I say, how do you do it? Like, how's it? And then every realtor has the different personality, have their own tools. And that's a unique thing. We're in the same room, you guys are in the same brokerage, but you guys are all fierce competitors of each other. But that's okay, because you guys have own personality. And I hope none of you guys have my personality, because that's way too crazy. But that is the saving grace, is that different people connect with different people. And that's why you don't have to worry about competition, because there's no other person that's exactly like you. You guys are truly unique. So really embrace that and use that to the best ability of your communication, the way you speak, the way you handle yourself, everything. That's your persona. And no one could duplicate that. And when you connect with your clients like that, that's powerful. Now, as I said before, everyone have gone through the lead generation, the sales funnels, and all those different programs. I'm not saying those programs are bad. I think those programs are needed. But I think what's even more needed in the pre-con world is this. Now, according to behavioral science, we have a circle of concern. Well, what is a circle of concern? Well, those are things that you're concerned about. You know, the war with Russia. Yeah, I'm concerned about that. Okay. You know, what's happening in Vancouver. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about that. You may be concerned with a lot of things, but those are just concerns. You can't really do anything about it. And then there is also the circle of influence. Some people will tell you that there are people that you could actually, that you could actually impart a difference. You can change them. I actually take the opposite because I can't even change myself. I can control myself. I don't even want to control my partner. So I don't look at the inner circle of control because I know I'm fooling myself. What I really look at, and when I do my business, is my circle of influence. Well, what is the definition of circle of influence? Those, for me, is that anyone that I can call up and they'll take my call. That's my circle of influence. It's not the 5,000 people on my Facebook, because they do not influence. Okay, those are my people of concern, circle of concern. But people of influence are my really good clients. That if I call them up and say, hey, I don't know how you're doing, but there's been a lot of news about housing, affordability, the new budget, non-residents, slapping them around. I don't know. I don't know about you, but are you worried about those things? Have you asked yourself, what does that all mean? Well, if you have those questions, well, why don't we get on a Zoom call? I'm scheduling a little Zoom call next week, okay? And then we could talk it out. There. There's a perfect intro into an invitation for conversation. Circle of influence is not selling a product. The first level of sales is to sell yourself. Because there's so many brokers out there, and you see it on every bus bench and every garbage can, and there's no shortage of them. There are brokers everywhere, lurking at every garbage can, okay? But what is needed is actually conversation, understanding them, putting the conversations, the topics at the core of the circle of influence so that you could have a voice. Now, you may not know all the answers. God, we don't need to. We just need to be there for them to voice it out, and then for us to understand our clients better. It's not say, I have a project, Queen Church, do you want to buy? You don't? Oh, well, screw you. You know what I mean? Where is that personal bonding connection? We're so much in that digital and say, if you're not going to click and buy and give me a worksheet, then you're not my client anymore. I'm moving on. Let's not do that. Okay? Well, let me see. Now, circle of influence is very important because the way I do my business, I always start from circle of influence. I don't really do a lot of advertising. It's all word of mouth. My clients like my work, and they just tell other builders, and that's it. I don't need to dominate. I don't need to be in there for every project there is. I mean, last year in Toronto, GTA, 32,000 and somewhat units of pre-construction sold, okay? Huge, huge amount, okay? And you multiply that by the average price of a condo, that's called 800,000, because I'm afraid to use $1 million. It just blows my mind, okay? Take 32,000, round it off, multiply that by 800,000, and you multiply that by 4%. That's how much money was going to all the brokers. So it's a huge industry. It's a very lucrative industry. But if I only look at it like that and say, I need to dominate, I need to be so-and-so, I got beat so-and-so, I have a horrible time. So I don't want to do that, okay? Now, next. The game that we're in is a marathon of sprints. What that means is that you got to run really hard and you got to run really long, okay? Now, power tip, okay? Power tip, move, let's go, okay. You may have read books, you may have some apps that talks about to-do lists. I'm not against to-do lists, okay? But I don't think that is it. To-do list, what is it? It is doing all the things that's urgent. That's it. But I asked you, is urgent equal to importance? It may or it may not. Okay? It really depends on how you prioritize. That's all a concept. Hashtag GTD, getting things done. Okay? There are also planners and software programs that say get things done. And you have a little matrix, different boards. That still is working on the realm of getting a list and checking it twice and knocking it off one by one, okay? I actually want to share with you a really distorted view of life. is time blocking. And again, as I said before, we will go through life, whether it's purposeful, with intention or not. We'll get through the day. But what I really want to do at the end of my journey is look back and say, I've done all the things that really is important to me. So would that be health? Would that be family? Or the kids or whatever? Okay? Or bringing up, mentoring some of the other people within your brokerage. Or learning from someone and then mentoring someone. Whatever it is, whatever really gets the juice going. So at the end of the journey, at the end of the day, whatever it is, that when you recap and look back, that whole journey was worth it. And the only way you can do that is by time blocking. Because now you're ensuring that the most important things on every day or every week or every month, it gets done. And in between, there's all these things that is creeping up, that's urgent, important, and you lose track and say, I don't really know. Like, that guy's been calling me so many times, I guess I have to sit down for coffee with them. The beautiful thing about now is there's Zoom. There's Zoom, you don't have to drive around, okay? So this whole COVID thing, it really brought a lot of good to us. It's not just bad. There's a lot of pain and suffering, absolutely. But there's also some good things that we learn from it. So, time block. Whatever is important in your life, in your day, set aside the time to get it done, okay? Because otherwise, it won't. Okay, here's a little project highlight. It's sort of my little commercial break, okay?
Toronto's entertainment district is the lifeblood of Toronto's downtown core and is known as one of Toronto's most popular and desired neighborhoods. Located in King West, the entertainment district is home to all of Toronto's major events, movie premieres, sporting events, celebrity hosting, social clubs, restaurants, spas, and cafes with public transit at every corner. The entertainment district has earned its name by bringing all aspects of social gatherings and entertainment lifestyle into one neighborhood. This is where creativity thrives. It is the epicenter of Toronto's top talent and innovation. A place to create everlasting memories. This is where the world's talent descends. Where people come to succeed and celebrate. This is where 357 King stands, and this is where it all begins. Welcome to 357 King West.
Now, the reason I put the little plug, shameless plug for 357 is that it's a pre-construction project. It's a pre-construction project by Great Golf, located at King Street and Blue Jays Way on the southwest corner. It is 400 meters away from Forma. Okay? The Frank Gehry building. Okay? Now, from same developer, Great Golf. And the cool thing about this, it is ready for occupancy in a couple of months. So it is a pre-con that is almost built. Okay? So you could treat it as a resale with a long closing. Okay? But pays 4 points. Okay? So that's pretty cool. Now, right now in that market within a 2-block radius of where I am, there's only about 10 listings. 2 beds, 3 beds. Okay? And a lot of them, there's about 3 or 4 that have gone through a price change. It actually bump up the price. 900 some 1,000 bump into 1.35 mil, you know, because they really see that that market is going to pick up. So the vendors are saying, no, I'm going to change my mind. I just want more. I'm getting more greedy, which is good, okay? So now here's an opportunity for you guys to work in a hybrid type of resale pre-con. And that's the beauty of it, okay? So I just want to share that with you. Again, if you guys have clients looking to move in the King West area, definitely let me know, okay? Just ask Joseph, okay? He knows how to get hold of me, okay? Now, this one is good. This slide, okay? Remember all the stuff I talked about, the circle of influence and everything? Well, here's this guy fishing, okay? So that's what we are. We're sort of like fishing. But imagine if you were fishing and you don't have the rod and the bait. You're just passing food out there for the fish. That's no good. So in your circle of influence, you got to be able to be in the conversation, and you got to keep asking on the level of, are you ready to buy? No, don't ask for that. Say, do you have more clarity on your needs? Because I do my business on my pre-con saying, I just want to identify the need. So going from the pecking order, well, do you feel that there's a need to protect your home against inflation? You know, the big bad inflation. Yeah, I think I do. Then you start working through the budget. What do you have the resource to protect your home? If you're in total debt and there's nothing, well, no. Like, consolidate. Get your life back in order first. But if you do have resource and you have the financial ability, you have the need, then we got to sit down. And then what is your next question? Do you start asking, do you want to buy this, buy Tridel? Here is Madison. Here is Altry. Like, there is so much projects around. Every other week, you can do launches. You're going to all these launches. So it's not the next launch. Remember, the next launch, the next project may not be the right project. If you're one of the brokers that keep pitching, no. Your client will feel that, man, Johnson is like, what is he doing? He sends me all this every week. This is the best project. Every week is the best project. Come on. I lose my audience. I lose my credibility. I lose my chance to really go in for the kill. So what I really want to do is to nurture the need, and when it's ready, I say, I think you're ready. I think you have clarity of what your real needs are. And I understand the location that you want. I understand all the parameters. Let me do some research, and we'll come back with a proposal to meet your needs. Notice what I've done. I've identified, no, I haven't identified, I created. They weren't even thinking about it. I extracted from them to build up this thinking, this paradigm that I really need to protect my family. I really need to think about my kids. I really need to, oh my God, homes are getting so expensive. If I don't do something, beach, I will never have a home. I can start thinking about that. What have I done as a parent? I got school. I gave up so much, got everything. They got a good job now. But look, with the hyperinflation of home pricing, if I don't help them in the little last step, maybe I could do a little bit more. What can I do? So that's where succession, generational wealth comes in. And so now I want to do it. Well, do I want to buy a condo that's closer to where I am? I can see my kids, and hopefully in the future I see my grandchildren. Yeah, of course. Who doesn't want to do that? So I started looking around. Okay, great. My proposal. You are giving a recommendation. What is that? You're giving a solution to a problem that may not have been there, that you have created, extracted, fishing. You extracted, and you've changed your paradigm. So now they realize there is a need. And you're giving them a solution. So you're selling them something. No. You're actually helping them to resolve a problem, a pain point that you created. That's the mark of a great salesperson. Seriously. If you can do that, time and time again, think about it. That is powerful. Now, how about launch hype? And you guys all know what that is. That's, there is social media posting about a project. So for example, in our company, We're posting about South Forest Hill. We're posting about Electric by Menkes. We're posting about Express 2. All these things. And if you say, hey, Johnson, I haven't got the plans, I haven't got the pricing, I cannot do my little nice email saying click here, click here, click here, and then feed me the worksheet. I haven't got all that information, so I'm not going to start my marketing. I'm not going to start working on it yet. By the time I actually launch, the amazing thing is you realize everybody's VIP. Everybody comes out of the woodwork to say, I have access. And you know, I don't blame them. Because if I were a broker, I don't have access, I would still raise my hand. Because for the client who didn't really was fed and nurtured properly, they don't know shit from shit. Everybody's a VIP because everybody's raised a hand. So why don't I put my hat in the lottery and raise my hand too, just on the odd case, because I haven't done anything. I'm so lazy. I'm a lazy broker. I just raised my hand. Oh, I'm VIP. Oh, I have a lead. Okay, great. Let me see what happens. I will ask Joseph, have you heard of this project? I have no idea. Okay, I just said I have access on 51.ca, and I got this lead. And so, me something, 1 bedroom, self-facing, on that project. Yeah, I want that. Okay, and then I get upset. Oh, Joseph, what do you mean you cannot get that for me? Come on, guys. Okay, so I look at the pre-con work as 365. I do my marketing even when there's no project launching. With or without project launch, because I don't broadcast everything to everybody. I really want to curate a solution. Now, that is what I call my tier 1 clients. Okay, I'll get to that a little bit later. Okay, so let's talk about the sequencing. What do you do? How do you work a project? Well, of course, you have to go and spend some time to learn about the project. Okay, because why? Because you are trying to do a proposal. So you want to find something, and again, when your circle of influence, there will be different triggers, different clients with different needs, and different locations, different things. So don't be all things to all people, because you're being nothing. Okay? So you want to pick and choose and find, you got to learn the project first. Okay? At least you got to know where it is. You got to know what type it is. What are the unique selling features? And again, it's not how big and expansive the amenities are. Seriously. It's more than that. It got to be something else. Okay? Now, then you present the solution based on the needs that you have created. Okay? Now, the last thing is prioritize the buying urgency, because not every client is equal. Okay? This is where you prioritize your clients, A, B, C, or at level 1, 2, and 3. Or however you want to prioritize. Now these needs become leads now. These are opportunities. You prioritize them. What you do, you can work with your first tier first. These are clients that are very accepting of your proposal. They understand you're professional. And these are clients that will never come back and ask you for rebates, because you have demonstrated that you are worth your commissions. It's not just a template of email, because they don't think you're worth it. And those clients would definitely come and ask you and say, hey, I click on this, I send you this worksheet, how much will I get back? Huh? Yeah, because you have done nothing. You have done nothing, okay? Except access. And you know, you're not that special after all, because I have a lot of other agents who also say they have access. Because if you don't give back to me, guess what? I'm going to go to someone else. Those are not your clients anyways. Now you're going to just give your money away? I don't think that's how you're going to make your business. I wouldn't do that. So you would work through your top tier. These are clients that understand your value, understands and have that connection that you really worked hard for. You cream that off first, then you go into your between the B's and C's, or where you start doing more e-blasts. Now you're not going to do those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons to buy. You're going to say, this is what I saw really unique about this. There's a great opportunity because of this. You're trying to share a view. Or you can share a question. Have you ever thought about where are the best schools network? Or have you ever thought about where is a location that will truly be iconic on a global basis? Okay. And definitely, some of the locations, some of the projects in Oakville, in Etobicoke, I'm not knocking them, okay? Those are good. They international locations? Hell no. Hell no. Even though Forma is not my project, but that one, because of Frank Gehry, that is iconic. It's iconic. It's not going to be cheap, but it's iconic. Yorkville is iconic. Waterfront, hey, my project, Sugar Wharf, is iconic. Those are the things that will truly stand the test of time. Truly, when you go travel around and say, hey, have you heard of Toronto? Yeah, I heard of Toronto. CN Tower. And they say, yeah, I have investment product right next to CN Tower, right to the right of it, right on the water. Oh, wow, that must be awesome. Or something like that. You know, so those are things that you need to work on. Okay, now, talk about closing. Okay, I talk a lot about high-level stuff. Now about how do you actually close? You first close by budget. Okay, when I say budget, it's not an 800,000, not a 700,000, not a 600. Only close on deposits. Okay, why? It's because a lot of buyers think about it. A lot of guys, they may be living in homes that's maybe 1.8, 2 mil around there, and you ask them to buy a 1+ den for 900,000. And how big is that? 650 square feet. So now you're asking me to make an investment that's almost